Hello and welcome along to the West Wales Karting Virtual Racing League ProjectCars2 Clio Cup Championship. Here today we're using the PS4 platform and it's round 5 of the championship here at Willow Springs International Raceway. Using the full-on layout here in the Clio Cup cars, it's going to be quite interesting, long sweeping corners for the drivers to get their heads around, and a tricky little hairpin right at the top of the hill too, which should provide plenty of entertainment overtaking wise. And it's Dan Holloway who leads the championship going into this one, just a few points ahead of Stuart Davis in second, with Monty MC Mama playing catch up and Del Boy as well. Spitfire not out of it either. And the starting grid here today, which is based on the finishing order of the last race, it's Dan Holloway on pole position ahead of Stuart. So the two title favourites so far, starting right next to each other with Monty, Del Boy and Spitfire. Just 5 cars in the lineup for this one sadly, but I think we can expect plenty of entertainment as these 5 are still in the running for the championship. So we're on the grid now and we're waiting for the lights to go out here, and it's go here now, and there's a very slow start from Stuart and he's getting swallowed up now by the field I think a bit, as Dan Holloway is off like an absolute rocket down to turn 1. It's a slightly uphill left-hander and quite a fast turn 1 as well, and that's Alex Brown as well. He's in the mix here too for this one, and he's slotted a bit to 4th there. Ever a good starter on lap 1 is Alex Brown. He seems to get up there somehow. Spitfire's not had a good one, he's down in 7th. Alex now pressuring Stuart, who seems to be a little bit sleepy on this opening lap here. Monty MC Momo's in 2nd, but it's Dan Holloway who's had an absolute storm. Oh, and off the track slightly there, that's Alex Brown I think, and now he's under attack from Welsh Taff, and Del Boy. Spitfire is just holding back as well. Oh, and contact as Alex Brown smash into the barriers, and that's also Welsh Taff I think involved too. Alex recovers okay, but Welsh Taff has found himself on the opposite side of those big orange bollards there. He's going to find it a bit tricky to get round back to the track. He's going to have to find the scenic route round there I think, because they're not very easy to move those things unless you're absolutely hammering into them at 100 mile an hour. And now it's Monty MC Momo under attack from Stuart Davis, as he seems to have found some life and some tyre grip, attacking into the last corner. Monty goes defensive. Stuart's going to have the inside line. It's a very fast, very long corner this one, about 2 or 3 apexes you have to hit it seems, and Monty's found himself a little bit wide. That's Stuart Davis down the inside, and they trade paint, rub door handles, and Stuart Davis is trying to fight his way through, and Monty's now spinning, bang, and over and over and over as Monty rolling over, losing all his bodywork, big contacts there. And Stuart Davis, where is he? He's 4th now. Dan Holloway's up into 3rd. Oh, what do you think about that opening lap, Alex?
Mental first lap, and looks like Dan Holloway's into the pits to save a jump start. It looked like he had a good start, but it was just a bit too well done by him, as he's just X-in now. But that was a massive crash between Stu and Monty. Looks like Monty got the worst of it with those several rollovers, but I have to say it looks like a racing incident. But now Stu's in the clutches of Alex, who's back up to 4th. Who would have thought that after the first couple of corners?
Yeah, I know, up into 4th, and look, it's Spitfire in 2nd and Del Boy in 1st. So this is really shaking up the grid nicely. Dan Holloway, unfortunate for him there, having to go through the pits, but he's in 7th. He's got a lot of speed though, so he'll be looking to fight his way back. And there's Monty MC Momo with pretty much this whole car missing, apart from the 4 wheels that are attaching it to the floor. And yeah, he's gonna have a bit of a lighter car after that, isn't he?
You'd have to imagine that, especially missing that much bodywork. But he's lucky there's not actual damage, it's just visual, otherwise that car would have been toast. But see Spitfire in 2nd, he's chasing down Del Boy, but yeah, I have to wonder if they got the same speed as he goes wide just onto the grass. That's not going to help him getting out of the corner, but it's pretty close between the top 2, and then it gets a bit spread out from there.
Yeah, we'll see if Spitfire has the pace to hold on to Del Boy. They have been quite evenly matched in the races so far, and that's Welsh Taff getting a bit out of shape, and now he's under attack from Monty. Welsh Taff's on the inside line now as they go down the start-finish straight up the hill there into turn 1. Welsh Taff's going to have the inside line, but Monty's going to try and stick it around the outside, and he outbrakes him and drives straight round the number 62 car there, and he takes 5th place away. That was a great manoeuvre there from Monty. Welsh Taff just braked a little bit too early.
Yeah, brilliant move there by Monty, braving it around the outside. Got to have a lot of confidence in yourself and the other driver, that they're not just go punt the car around. So he'll be up the road now, try and chase Alex, who's fallen back a bit from Stu, but that definitely shows the pace Stu's got trying to catch the top 2.
Yeah, it certainly does. He's found some pace after his slightly slow start, and there's Welsh Taff making friends with the barrier slightly there, but he's just traded some paint. It's okay, nothing to worry about, but he will have company soon in the shape of Dan Holloway, I fear there. So could get tasty between those ones. Monty, though, is on his way off after Alex Brown. And this long final corner here, that see the cars coming around now, Del Boy, our leader, heading out of it now. What is the secret to this corner? Because it's such a tricky one to get right.
Not get on the grass on the exit's a big one, so you don't spin the car around, as Stu sort of demonstrates there, but he didn't spin it. It's basically just try and go wide as possible on the entry and then hook it back in to take the shortest line to really slingshot yourself out. It's kind of similar to the first corner as well. You want to take as much momentum into the second long hairpin, you could call it, just so you don't lose that much speed.
Yeah, certainly, and you can see the camber changes on this track too. You can use that to your advantage as well, can't you? It's very quite a lot of gradients on this one, quite a big camber change on some of those corners, and those curbs as well are quite aggressive. I don't think you can ride those curbs so well around this track, can you?
Definitely not. As I say, with the camber, it's definitely a tyre killer as well. You can see they're just swooping down into this left-hander, up the brow into the right, back down again. So really, this track's got quite a lot of elevation changes, and like I said, it kills the tyres, and it can really, well, it really takes a lot of concentration to drive it. And Delboy's doing pretty good up front. He's still under a second from Spitfire, but he's holding that gap quite nicely.
Certainly is, doing very tidy lap times indeed. Oh, it's Monty, look, and oh, what's happened to Monty? Has he left the session? Oh, no, there he is. Some slight glitch going on. Oh dear, this doesn't look too clever for Monty here, does it?
No, he's jumping all over the shop. I wonder if it's a connection issue. We've had that before on the Xbox group where people disconnected and jumping about, but he's back. Well, he's up ahead of Alex now, so might have just been a connection issue or something with the replay.
Yeah, perhaps he turned that Clio into a TARDIS or something, some Doctor Who music, and there he is, up ahead of Alex. Alex now on board thinking, how did he get there then? Teleportation. Yeah. Secret to racing driving success.
Yeah. Shame the car's not blue.
Yeah, Alex Brown now, he's pushing hard though, as you can see. He's trying to stay with Monty, and those two are going to try and catch Stuart up ahead, but they're setting very fast times up front. Spitfire 27.8 the last time around.
Ooh,
but look, he's got ahead of Delboy now. So Delboy is, second place, but he's going to try and fight back by the looks of it. He's in the slipstream, going down the back straight to that very fast long corner that we've been talking about. Is he going to have a go down the inside? He's going to have to try and hope that Spitfire carries a little bit too much speed and understeers wide. But he's going to have to try and do the opposite to Spitfire now, I think. Try and go out wide himself and try and get the cut back. And you can see the cars moving around. They're right on the limit of grip, aren't they? Heading now, using that camber change nicely to get on the throttle early and off down the straight. And they both tackled that corner very well led, but different lines, as you saw. So will Delby have a look here, do you reckon?
Well, it's an uphill corner, so you can definitely brake later, but you take a lot of speed as it's just a blip of the brakes as you throw the car into the left. You have to imagine his best chances on the uphill section after this long sweeping right-hander where you can really dive for it. But he might be a bit far back, but Spitfire's gone quite wide there, whether it's understeer or not, or the tyres are just starting to go off. That's really allowed Delboy to catch up.
Yeah, it does seem like it, doesn't it? And I think Delboy must be listening to you here, Al, because look, he's shaping up now. He's trying to wrong-foot Spitfire for a pass up the hill here in the top corners, and he's wrong-footed Spitfire on the inside there. But Spitfire, very good defensive driving. Look, he manages just to hold him out. Delboy still fighting though, trying to find a way through. Oh, and he's got a great exit here. Look, and they're side by side, are they? Where's Spitfire? There he is on the inside still. He's going to have the shorter run now. Round the corner onto the straight they go. Spitfire still slightly ahead, but they're pretty much side by side, and Delboy's going to have the more conventional racing line here, but I'd imagine Spitfire will just brake a bit later and try and run him out wide there. And they're still side by side. Incredible.
Yeah, it's really going to compromise Spitfire on the exit though. If Delboy's smart, he'll just lift off the throttle and tuck back in and try and get the momentum down on his outside, as it looks like he's trying to do now, but Spitfire covers it really well.
Absolutely, a Spitfire, great defensive driver, and the Del Boy as well. He's trying his absolute best to find a way through. Look, he's trying to get in the mirrors there, trying to distract Spitfire. It's not really working so far. But both of them using sometimes slightly unconventional racing lines, but they're doing all the right things, ticking all the right boxes to, attack and defend, of course, in each of their cases. But now coming up the hill again now, is Del Boy going to be close enough to have a bit of a lunge through here? Spitfire really is going to have to earn this one, isn't he?
Definitely, but going through the picture there is the third place man, Stu Davis, as he's really dropping the paces that these two are battling. He's down to 4.5 seconds from about 8 seconds a few laps to go, so he's really nailing these lap times and trying to catch these two. As they're still battling, there's Del Boy looking on the outside, that gives him the inside line and into the lead. Great move there.
Wow, that was incredible manoeuvre from Del Boy there. I think he found himself on the opposite position to where he was previous lap with Spitfire, and Spitfire, I think, probably thinking that maybe Del Boy was going to hold back a bit and try and get the cut back. So he stayed on the inside at Spitfire, but Del Boy thought, well, I'll just drive around the outside, and he did, and he found the grip. Incredible manoeuvre. Spitfire there, though, I think he'd be applauding that one slightly. Maybe not, I don't know. But he's going to have a chance now to overtake again, because there's still quite a few laps left of this race. We've probably got another couple of laps at least, so still lots of chances. Stuart Davis is going to hope that they battle a bit more, as you said there, Al, because Stuart is only a few seconds back from that battle for the lead. Montiemtu Momo is a little bit further behind. He's being caught slightly by Dan Holloway, but they're kind of setting similar lap times at the moment, so you can see his target though, can't he, Dan? So Dan's going to be absolutely going for it, especially with his nearest rival Stuart up there in third.
You have to wonder if Spitfire's just backed off a bit, allow the pace to go up between those two. As that last lap, Stu did a 1:28 while they were in the 29s and 30s. Just try and build the pace up, build the gap from this man going up into the top hairpin, and then try again in the last couple of laps. But Stu is on fire here, he's setting blistering times.
Certainly is, yeah, low 28s there. Monty as well, on fire. Dan Holloway. You can see though that once you start battling around this track, using those different lines, it does compromise your lap time quite a bit, doesn't it? But Stuart's still around 4 seconds back though. He hasn't made up so much time in the last lap or so. So not long left to go in this race now, so we'll see if there's going to be any more movement. You would have thought if there is, it's going to be between the front two though.
Yeah, hopefully Spitfire might be just nursing the tyres a bit, as said. It properly eats the left front, especially with the long sweeping corners in second and last corner. So he might be just trying to bring it back and really go for it in the last couple of laps. But there's not long left for him to do that, and if he's not careful, that might let Del Boy really push and get out of his grasp. But I think, yeah, they're all doing 1:28s now at the front, so that just shows what that battle was doing, allowing Stu to catch up, and it sort of evened itself out now.
Yeah, and looking back through the field there, Alex Brown still 6th ahead of Welsh Taff in 7th. Remember back to lap 1, they had that kerfuffle going up the hill here that we're looking at on the TV now, and Welsh Taff ended up the other side of those orange barriers. He did find his way back through, but he hasn't managed to catch back up to Alex, so there's a bit of a personal battle going on back there as well in 6th and 7th. And you can see Spitfire really hustling that car through that corner now. He's really trying to go for it. I think you're right here, Alex. Maybe he was nursing his tyres a bit. And he's really going for it now. And Stuart Davis there is fallen back a bit, actually, in 3rd. But let's not forget, this is race 1 of 2 races here at Willow Springs. So round 5, race 2 is coming up after this one. And their starting order for that race will be based on the finishing order of this one. So that might come into play in the drivers' minds as well. Maybe Stuart's thinking, maybe I'm not going to push it too hard here. 3rd's a good starting spot for the next one, and he's got the championship to think about, hasn't he? So yeah, all of this will be going through the drivers' minds at this stage.
Yeah, plus it's a bonus that Dan Holloway is in 5th as well, who's put a blistering lap in. There's 2 people into the 27s now. That's brilliant laps. Spitfire being 1, so I think he was definitely just holding back to really get the pace up and get that gap to Stu so he can attack again. But yeah, if this is the starting grid for the next race, it'll be quite good for Stu, as he's got 2 of his rivals behind him. as you see now, Spitfire really on the tail of Del Boy, going up to the top hairpin. Oh, and that's a bit of a mistake there from Del Boy. That's going to allow Spitfire to really push onto him, but Del Boy's defending really well, and that puts Spitfire wide. He's really going to have to be defensive now, especially making little mistakes like that.
Yeah, incredible. Del Boy's tantalisingly close to the win here. And Spitfire's coming down really hard, and that mistake really nearly cost him the lead there. But he's going to have to defend hard for another lap, possibly here. What do we reckon? This is going to be the last lap. It's hard to tell at the time sometimes.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine there might be one more lap in this.
Yeah, I think you're right. Look at the cars drifting, four-wheel drifting coming around there. It's reminiscent of 1970s Formula 1, isn't it? But slightly slower, of course, because these are Renault Clios. But Spitfire now heading into the sunset. You see that blinding light coming in the driver's eyes. It's hard enough to pick your braking points on this track as it is, never mind with the light shining in your eyes on the last lap, fighting for the lead with your bright yellow rival just up ahead as well. But it's going to be even more hard, I think, in race 2, where we're going to be racing in the night here. So not very well lit track, this one, is it? So it'll be very interesting to see how they deal with that one. But Spitfire now rising on board, great on-board shot. He's still pushing for the win, as any racing driver would on the last lap when you've got your rival just up ahead. And Del Boy is going to be absolutely resolute in defence, I think, trying to stop him from overtaking. But it is a track where you can use multiple lines, as we've seen. So anything can still happen with half a lap here to go, Alex.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine Del Boy's got the win unless he does a silly mistake. But as Spitfire missed a couple of rounds, you'd have to imagine he's happy with second, just to get the points haul in and try and boost his championship prospects up. But I think he's a bit too far behind now from Dan Holloway and Stu Davis. But every little helps, and you never know with this championship, anything can happen.
Yeah, and these two are technically still fighting in the championship for position, aren't they? Even though Spitfire missed a couple of rounds. Del Boy's had a bit of bad luck over a few of the rounds, but he heads out the last corner now, and an absolutely fantastic win for Del Boy in this first, I think, in this championship. Unbelievable driving, really good overtaking manoeuvres when it mattered, and really good defence as well. And Spitfire really chased him hard for the win there. Really good drive from Spitfire as well there in second. Stuart Davis across the line in third after a couple of incidents, but a good drive nonetheless. And Monty MC Momo there still keeps himself in the championship hunt, just ahead of Dan Holloway in fifth. And now we look to Alex Brown there. Didn't quite have the pace, the ultimate pace at this track, but a very tidy drive, just to stay ahead there of Welsh Taff, who was chasing him all the way to the finish.
Yeah, brilliant race there, and you have to wonder what Stu and Monty were thinking after that first lap crash. What could have been? They could have been fighting for the win instead of third and fourth. That's your finishing order, and we look forward to the second race coming up, and Stu is now in the lead by 2 points. That penalty's really bitten Dan Holloway quite badly.
Yeah, you can see how close it is, how competitive this championship is, and I think we can look forward to even more close racing in the night time. Race 2 at Willow Springs coming up soon.